books. Call us today at 423-755-0821.
92.7 Nuga Radio.
Good morning, beautiful people here in the city of Chattanooga. You know Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. You know what it is. I'm taking it from the streets to City Hall. City Hall to the mayor's office. Can't leave out the police department. From the Valley Low to the mountaintop, giving you guys a bird's eye view to what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. Good morning. It's another beautiful day here in the city of Chattanooga. Some fall weather going on, and I'm loving how I'm going to get to start the show today because I have one of my partners, Mr. Russell Stroud, the beautiful voice that you hear giving our news and our updates every single day here at Nuga Radio 92.7. He, as well as the Nuga Radio family, is live at the Hickson 153 Walmart with our campaign of All We Need Is Love. All you need is love, where we are asking people to donate non-perishable items, to donate clothing, coats, pet food, or even a cash donation for the survivors of Hurricane Michael in Georgia and in Florida. Good morning, Russell.
Morning. Yeah, we got non-perishable items that we just received. Actually, we just got a whole big donation of toilet paper. We've got paper towels. We got bleach here. We got cleaning soap. We got purified water that just got donated, bottled water. We got all sorts of stuff that a kind couple just brought in for us. And we're at Highway 153 at the Hickson Walmart. We're with the All You Need Is Love drive with Nuga Radio 92.7. We've also got a Salvation Army red bucket here for monetary donations if you so choose. Of course, it's entirely up to you. We want to thank the Chattanooga Area Salvation Army for providing that for us. We also want to thank Walmart, Trenco Logistics, MSI Workforce Solutions, Sport Clips at Hamilton Place, Rick Davis Golden Diamonds, Chattanooga Roofing Contractors. And we're taking donations of non-perishable items and money as well. It's really up to you which one you want to donate. We got a basket here waiting for your donations and a red bucket for monetary donations. And we're just out here waiting for the donations to roll in. We've already got quite a lot here for the people affected by Hurricane Michael down at Panama Beach especially. We know the devastation there has been really terrible. So right now things are going really well over here at Hickson Walmart, Highway 153.
Thank you so much, Russell. I can't wait. I'm going to be coming there right after the show, and I'm going to get to chop it up with the team. So, as always, if you can't meet us there, feel free to just tune in and see what we're doing, share what we're doing. So if you can't make it, at least someone in your community or your neighbor can make it, and we can help people here in these United States of America who are in need. Russell, I'll check you out later. Can't wait to see you.
All right. Thank you. See you.
Bye-bye. All right. Good morning, good people. I'm so grateful for my Nuga Radio family coming up with this campaign to help the victims of Hurricane Michael. I keep preaching it because I firmly believe it. If we're waiting on certain people to step up and do the right thing, we will be waiting. It is up to us, we the people, these citizens of these United States of America. It's up to us to step up and come in and do some of this work. Otherwise, a lot of things would not get accomplished and it would not get done. But I had to come in this morning and I had to start off with talking about city council. And I'm going to take a deep breath because last night was one heck of a meeting. It was a meeting. So we have the Avondale community, which is Anthony Bird's district. We have the Avondale Community Recreation Center, or YFD Center, however you want to call it. It has $6 million of taxpayer dollars. Let me make that caveat. Let me put that in there, because often when you hear these dollars, sometimes they don't break down who gives what's the ratio, if this is taxpayer dollars, if it's privatized investment dollars. The recreation center is $6 million of taxpayer taxpayer dollars. There is no private interest, unlike Miller Park, even though it was $10.4 million. The reason why we can have privatized security in Miller Park and surveillance in Miller Park is because the city of Chattanooga only put up $4 million into Miller Park. And the rest of that money came from privatized interest, privatized business. And so it's important to understand when we start out talking about some of these investments that you see in the city of Chattanooga, it's important to understand how it gets funded. And when we have a situation where we have projects that are being funded by the people, the natural expectation that I would have is if you're putting your money in, that you get a vote, a voice, you get asked, what are your thoughts? What are your recommendations? What are your expectations of what it is that you want to see in a building such as this? And I'm realistic. I understand that you can't meet all of the wants, the needs, the expectations of the people. But when you find that there is a common thread of concern about the project that's going on, and further, if you showed up to the meeting last night, you would have left not only offended, but you would have left with the understanding and the flavor that the decisions that are continuously made for your neighborhood, for the places in your neighborhood, are often made without you. And often you find that people love challenging the community and expecting the community to step up. But these same individuals find it difficult to be transparent with these same people that they have great expectations for. The community should never be left out of what is going on in their community from an investment or a political standpoint. It is beyond offensive. It is negligent. It's negligent. Avondale, the project had so much opposition that basically the construction was put to a halt. And partly because the people have found out a little too late that certain decisions have been made and the people were not consulted with. And the problem that I have with that is that when I look at the responsibility of government, when I look at the articles of the Constitution, when I look at things like the Declaration of Independence, when I look at these documents, there's a common thread between them all, and that is the people should be involved in the process at every turn. And when it becomes a situation that decisions and implementations are made without the consultation of the people, that it's a natural expectation not only for the people to be livid, but it's a natural expectation for the people to rebel. And certainly I expect no less of my constituents because this is our money. And further, it's supposedly for our children, or at least that was what the initial selling point was. You know, I don't even remember the lady's name, but one of the people within Mayor Burke's cabinet got up and this is how it works. She had it all pre-typed out on a piece of paper. You got to stick to the script, because if you don't stick to the script, you might slip up, but she did it anyway, whether she realizes it or not. And the first thing that she stated was an obvious assessment of government factions between communities, and in particular communities of color, is that often when people come into our neighborhood and tell us that they want to do something, we question them. And why do we question them? Because we do not trust them. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't trust people if they will funnel our children into prisons. We shouldn't trust people who will ensure that our schools are continuously failing. We shouldn't trust people who will invest only in certain portions of the city and leave the rest of us scrapping to make it. We shouldn't trust you. Why should I trust you? If I look and I see no difference between Republican, Democrat, mayor, if I don't see any difference, why should I trust you? If you got my vote, you got my campaign dollars, and you turned your back on me when you got into the job, Why should I trust you? She made a very valid point. And and this is why I said she slipped up, whether she really missed it or not, is when you know that people don't trust you, you have to go the extra mile. You see, when I tarnish your relationship, and it don't matter what kind of relationship, whether it's marriage, children, whether it's parents, whether it's friendship, work relations, whatever. If I strain a relationship, the way towards reconciliation, to reconcile, to build that bridgeway, the way that we do that, the way that I would do that, is I got to go the extra mile to try to show people who I've hurt, who I've disenfranchised, who I've steamrolled over. I got to go the extra mile to win their affections and their trust. And so, how do you intend to do that? Only if you show up to the neighborhood and promise that you are going to build a building, and the people don't believe it until they see it. But just because you started building a building does not mean that you've done the job that you've needed to do for the community. You started the work. Congratulations. We applaud you for that. But just because you're building this building doesn't mean you don't need to consult with the people about what they want in the four walls of that recreation center. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. And let's be clear about the difference in types of neighborhoods if this were to happen. If this center were to be built on North Shore, if this center were to be built on Signal Mountain, if the center were to be built out in East Brainerd, without question and exception, there would be community meetings throughout the entirety of the project. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. There would be community meetings from beginning to end. And if there was any questions from the neighborhood, I'm telling you, Carol Burrs, Ken Smith, Ledford, Mitchell, Henderson, maybe even Oglesby, they'd ask some corporation for 100, 200, 300 hard hats. And if the people wanted to come every week, bi-weekly, once a month, and walk through and see the progress of what was happening in the construction, they would do it. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. What I know. The reoccurring theme from this lady was an admittance of neglect of leadership, past and really present. Maybe she didn't see it that way, but I know it is that way. Neglect. 800-8949 if you want to call and talk to me. I forgot to say the number. Drop a comment if you see me. But she kept stating that we, meaning her, Burke, project manager, construction company that's not even from the city of Chattanooga, we're building a brand spanking new facility in an impoverished communities, and we won't hire people from the community to build it. Keep moving on, Maureen. We won't hire the unemployed and the homeless people, even if it's something as simple as shoveling dirt. We won't hire the community for the job. We'll go outside of our city to find somebody to come build this monstrosity. And it's nothing wrong with a new center, but it's something completely wrong when you decide to build this and you don't have any help from the community. So they kept saying that their vision, the mayor's vision for the center, Bird's vision for the center, their vision, Coach's vision for the center. I never heard that there was a vision from the people. And if you could call back, I tried to pick up if you call back, I will plug you in. 800-8949. Their vision for this center was not only for the young people, but they supposedly wanted to be multi-purpose, multi-use. And even the interesting thing is that supposedly they're hiring new people to work in this center. Interesting because, so let me not even get into that. Multi-purpose, multi-use. Now, Anthony Byrd decided that in his snakish way, because he's not a man that can just come out and just be up front and say stuff. He has to say it in such an underhanded way that there's a lot of rumors circulating around about the building of the recreation center. And if the realest person in the room didn't get up, Warren Mackey was there last night and got up and punched him right in the chest and told him that the reason rumors were swarming was because he refused to keep people in the loop. Thank you, Warren Mackey. Good morning. Talk to me.
Hey, Marie, it's Russell here at the Walmart on 153 in Hickson.
Hey.
Hey, so I just want to let you know about a little bit about what we got here.
Okay.
We're looking at some non-perishable goods that have been dropped off by a kind donator. We got some, what am I looking at here? We got some toilet paper. We've got some Kleenex. We've got all sorts of good stuff here. Some cleaning materials. We're accepting donations both monetarily and materially. So this is for the victims, of course, of Hurricane Michael. We want to thank some of our sponsors who have helped us out to set this up. Again, we're on Highway 153 at Hickson and Walmart. It's the All You Need Is Love Drive on Nuga Radio 92.7, and we're donating to the victims of Hurricane Michael. I got Val here with me, who's wearing the headset. So, Val, how are you doing this morning?
Doing good. I'm so glad that we get to be a part of something so special. I mean, I'm a Floridian, and aren't a lot of us that are here in Chattanooga from somewhere else. And being from Florida, this has really impacted not my family personally, but I do have some friends in the area of the Panhandle that were affected. And so being out here today has real special meaning for me. And you have until 6 o'clock tonight. Come on out to the Walmart again. We're at 153 in Hickson. Give what you can, even if it's a roll of paper towels, baby diapers, baby wipes. Those are kind of things that you don't think about that are needed. Women, feminine hygiene products are greatly needed as well. And if you don't want to pick those things up in the store, give us a donation. We got the Salvation Army kettle here, and the Salvation Army is doing fantastic work. They're on the ground that will be able to get these items delivered into the hands where it's most needed.
And we're going to be here until 6 o'clock p.m., so basically all day here at the Hickson Walmart on Highway 153. So come by and drop off whatever you feel like you can.
Thank you, guys. Can't wait to see you after the show.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you here.
Bye. Oh, man. So after the show, please, if you can, meet me at 153 Hickson Walmart. Me and the team are going to be out there accepting donations for the survivors, those impacted by Hurricane Michael. This is something that we're doing in conjunction with the Salvation Army, and we appreciate everyone who's donated in any capacity so far. But I'm going to end on it on the first half of the segment, and we're going to pick up on it on the second half of the segment, because often when you see what happens, especially at a city council meeting, depending on the writer, it may be flat, it may be leaving out information. Councilman Byrd did not include the community in on the plans. Henderson had the blueprints. Now, how does somebody outside of the district, another council person, have the blueprints? That should have been available to the public. Why not? We have a city website, do we not? City council, as far as I know, they have a Facebook page. I'm going to give them free game if any of them listen. And I'm sure somebody from the city probably listening. Let me give you some free game. Hire a millennial. If you would like somebody, I can recommend someone. My cousin Jayla Harper. If you need someone to manage your social media account, she has her own business doing that. You need to hire a millennial. First of all, we should be having city council meetings. They should be streaming on Facebook. It's 2018. I need y'all to catch up. Free game. Pass this on to somebody you know within city government. Hire a millennial and have them manage the social media accounts for either Mayor Burke, or either if it's just for the city council, if it's just giving them a stipend, give a young person a job. This information that you guys have, the 3D imaging walkthrough, all the blueprints, the plans, the slideshow, all of that should be able to be viewed on social media and the city's page. This is not difficult, but I guess people don't want to be transparent. I guess we're living in a time where the people we duly elect get to make all the choices, and somehow the people who are responsible for putting the dollars up should just be quiet and be happy with what they got. Y'all stay tuned for the second half of the segment.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A neighborhood on alert in East Brainerd as a man is accused of exposing himself to a child. Happened just after 6 p.m. on Royal Mountain Drive. Hamilton County deputies say a child had a lemonade stand in her front yard. A car drove by several times before the man inside stopped and then exposed himself. The vehicle is described as a green Subaru. UTC's campus will go smoke-free starting January 1st. The ban on tobacco products includes e-cigarettes for vaping. Reports say faculty is concerned of the effects of secondhand vape. Despite these changes to policy, chewing tobacco will still be allowed. And the GBI's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force executed a search warrant at the home of a Fort Oglethorpe police officer. The officer has not yet been identified as the investigation is still ongoing. The home was on Sagebrush Lane in Catoosa County. Val St. John for Nooga Radio. News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Cash, and more cash. Get 8.1% return on your money. Rick Davis can turn your cash into real money. Gold and silver bullion. American Eagle Gold. The banks give you a measly 1.9%. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, you'll get 8.1% return on your money. 8.1% return on your money. Wow! Whether you're buying an ounce or 100 ounces, Rick guarantees it in writing. 8.1% Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts, like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge, or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy today about whether you'll be ready to retire when you finally had it with seeing Ethan walk out of the bathroom again without washing his hands. Gross. Call Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial, 423-710-2009, 423-710-2009.
I'm Bo Watson, and I approve this ad.
This is Hamilton County Sheriff Kim Hammond. In today's society, safety for our children, families, and others are critical. State Senator Bo Watson is working hard to make sure that safety for all Tennesseans is paramount to our future. This is why I'm asking for your vote for Bo Watson, a leader in Nashville that is working for us and safety for all. Vote for Bo Watson for Tennessee's future.
Paid for by Friends of Bo Watson, Boy W. Watson III, Treasurer, votefortennessee.com.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga roofing contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga roofing contractors, a roofing company you can trust. Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Petway way. Yeah, I just put that in.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings, 10 to 12, right here on Nooga Radio.
Looking better weather-wise for your afternoon with more sunshine. High temperatures settling into the upper 60s. Tonight, mostly clear, chilly lows 43 to 45. For Thursday, a beautiful day with lots of sun, highs mid and upper 60s. Looking dry through Friday as well. Glass Farm Nursery is ready for the cooler weather with a big assortment of pansies and violas, as well as first quality Indian mums, only $5.99. That's Glass Farm Nursery, Highway 11, 4 miles south of Trenton. And I'm Sorgene 12, Chief Meteorologist, has your report.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
It's your girl Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show, and we're having a tough conversation about it. Oh man, somehow the people are just supposed to take whatever folks give us in the city of Chattanooga. And I don't know. When have you ever, 800-8949 if you want to call and talk, when have you ever seen concrete bleachers in a brand spanking new building? In a brand spanking new building that's being built from the ground up. And who thought it was a bright idea to go on ahead and start building stuff and not really engage the community? I don't understand that. And I said this in a personal video, I've never gone to any place except a place that's severely old or outdated. I've never gone into a brand spanking new place and have seen concrete bleachers. And if old people, middle-aged people, younger people, a wide variety of community shows up to a city council meeting and first of all, states that they're not happy with the concrete bleachers. If it's going to cost $300-something thousand, I can't be anybody but me. And Lord, forgive me if I'm stepping on toes, I'm stepping on them today. If you can figure out how to have the white party at the West End, you can figure out how to come up with $300-something thousand in a city that's worth $4 billion. $300,000 is chump change. You better figure it out. You better figure it out because if the people aren't happy, that's all you need to know. You've been doing it on your own anyway, so you figure it out. Y'all so smart. Figure it out. You figure it out. How about y'all take a pay cut for the next 2 years and let that money come out of your doggone salary since y'all want to make comments about what needs to happen and what people should be happy with, as if their tax dollars aren't paying for this project. There's no need for rumors, and I said this on the first half of the segment before we ended. There's no need for rumors if you're transparent about what's going on. The reason people make up stuff, the reason people come up with stuff, the reason things are circling around the neighborhood and whispers are happening is because nobody is stepping up to the plate. In 2018, well, we have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Chattanooga.gov. Why does Henderson, a councilman who's not even in our district, why does he have blueprints to the center? Why were those not made available to the public as soon as they were available to you? Why isn't the virtual reality? Why is all of this stuff, as of yesterday, this stuff is now being added to public spaces where the community can see what's going on? And I'm guessing that unless the community raised an issue, that they wouldn't have shared this with us anyways. Let me take a deep breath because I'm frustrated just by that fact alone, that the vision of what continues to pop up, whether it's development,
whether it's projects, whatever seems to happen in our communities, which is often marginalized communities, it happens without the consent, really without the engagement of, it happens without the engagement of the people. And it's imperative to keep the people in the process, because it's not about you. This is not about the mayor's ego. And no government officials should be hoarding information that should be available to the public. That's already a large problem. But to add insult to injury. Now, two weeks ago, was it 2 weeks? Maybe it's 3 now. A few weeks ago, I went to the city council with Isaiah Moore, who's tuning in right now. And he asked them, the part that you will not see on the video from Nooga Radio or from Dennis Clark, he asked them where were their hearts about the issues going on in the city of Chattanooga. And without fashion, without exception, Ms. Coonrod opened up yesterday with the community needs to step up. And I can say the community does need to engage more. I won't lie about that. But I won't hold the people to more accountability than leadership. I'll never do that. I will never do that. You see, the people don't have power over the budgeting. We don't have participatory budgeting here. So the people don't have a say-so, really, of how dollars get spent unless they raise an issue. And that's really a problem. That all of these decisions, like the lights that were supposedly going to go on the Walnut Street Bridge, it wasn't until a lot of white people showed up and said that we don't want this happening. Why does that have to happen? Whether it's white, black, Hispanic, or whoever. That the city and people in charge are going to make decisions. And unless the people practically get ready to burn down the city, they won't abandon stuff. That's a problem. I mean, am I by myself? To me, that's an issue. Because decisions shouldn't be made without including the people. And we live in the information age, so it's no excuse. It really isn't. If you're ignorant of how to use social media, take some city funds, take some of those petty cash funds that you have access to, hire a millennial who will get the job done. There's no excuse. None. I don't see any. There's no way out. So starting off with the expectation that the community is supposed to be held to a higher standard than the people you sit next to and the mayor who's never there at the city council. But he'll send his people, and that's another problem. He'll send his minions to come do his bidding. He won't show up. What kind of leadership is this? Does anybody feel me? Does anybody feel me? What kind of leadership is this? To where there's problems in the community, problems with people on the city council not being transparent, and the CEO of the city doesn't even show up to answer the questions. He sends a cabinet member. This isn't leadership. That is abuse of power. This is negligence. The same kind of negligence you would go to prison for if you did this to your children. I'm telling you, you would go to prison if you did this to your children. But people can do us any kind of way, and we let them get away with it. But we decided not to let them get away with it. And we had a lot of older people, elders, middle-aged folks, and even some younger people who showed up in solidarity as the Avondale community, and some from Lincoln Park, District 8, we showed up. My district, we showed up. And what we found was, now, according to Ken Smith, those responsible for the YFD, which would be Bird and Coonrod, were supposedly on top of this project, and especially Bird. He's doing all this work. But he's asking, and you can just go back and watch the YouTube video if you so choose. He probably spent 30 minutes. I wanted to pull my eyeballs out. 30 minutes asking a cabinet member of the mayor how he should answer questions to the people. Well, bro, if you're on top of it, you should already know how to answer these questions. If you kept all the information, you shouldn't be asking any. Am I being unrealistic here? I don't think I am. I don't think I'm being unrealistic. I don't think I'm being unrealistic. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Talk to me.
Hey, Maria, it's Russell down at the Walmart. How's it going?
Going well.
All right, cool. So we're down here at the Walmart in Hickson on Highway 153. We've got a few donations already. We've gotten some non-perishables. We've got some, we got what looks like toiletries. We've got some cleaning supplies. We've got some bottled water already. Which
non-perishable food items.
Yeah, we need non-perishable food items like canned food and all that kind of thing. 'Cause we don't have any of that right now.
Okay.
The boss man's cracking it. Yeah, so Val's here with me. Val, what's up?
Highway 153 in Hickson, we're at the Walmart, and you have seen the devastation on TV. You've heard about the devastation. Now it's time to act.
That's right.
This, like, I'm in awe. I'm actually here with Val, the news gal Val. Oh my God, is Gal okay to say? Is that like
your pal Val?
Your pal Val.
Pal Val.
Just hanging out here at Highway 153, Hickson Walmart. If you want to see Russ and Val, that fantastic morning team newscast you hear every day is put together by these two great folks, and they're right here.
Yeah.
Right here at Highway 153, Hickson Walmart. This is the what drive?
All you need is love.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. I'm a big Beatles fan.
I am
totally
not
get what it
Beatles
means.
fan.
Young one.
No, but seriously, they need a lot of love down there because they lost everything. We're looking for non-perishable food items. That means canned foods, tuna fish, chicken in a can. Do you ever have that chicken in a can?
I love chicken in a can.
Oh, that's great.
Who doesn't love chicken in a can?
Chicken in a can. Who came up with that?
Whatever you guys can give.
Who came up with that? Whoever thought that people...
Whatever you guys can give, meet us at the Hickson Walmart 153. We'll be there till 6 with All We Need Is Love. But I really want to finish this up. I do. Because withholding information from the public is a problem. Deciding what's going to happen. The people found out, besides just the concrete bleachers, we found out that we were going to have a library. Let me say this. Nobody is opposed to having books. Now, if the library wanted to donate books, that's fine. But finding out that the library is going to have some sort of power within the center, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm just telling the truth. Now, people can say what they want about me, and I've accepted it. That's cool. But at the end of the day, I'm not making any decisions that are going to impact thousands of people. I'm not making decisions that's going to impact districts of people. I'm not doing that. Whatever I do for now. God has plans for me. He has plans for you too. It's on a small scale. But what really set me on fire was seeing people asking questions. Well, what Bird kept coming up with these imaginary scenarios. So the people are going to say this. How should I respond to this question I know that I'm going to get? What that says to me is that, dude, you're not qualified to be a leader. If you have to ask other people how to answer a multitude of questions for your constituents, then maybe, just maybe, you're in over your head. And I think that's kind of where we are. We have a lot of people, besides just not caring about people, as much as people like to pretend that they're Christians, they love praying, love invoking God's name. And even though Christ said, I'm going to dwindle down the 10 commandments to 2 things, love God, love people. If you don't love people, you can't love God that you've never seen. You step on your brother and sisters every single day. You can't love God. You can't. And he doesn't hear you. He doesn't hear you. You're stepping on people every single day, not only in your actions, but then when they show up to the city council, you're going to step on them in person. So, of course, and so he ended with, after a 30 to 35 minute ordeal of going back and forth with the lady who's trying to stick to her script, and she looked like she was frazzled and frustrated. Like, why am I down here having to explain to these African Americans what decisions me and Burke made for their neighborhood? Why would I have to do this? And I could kind of feel her vibe, because she shouldn't have to do that. That should be the mayor's job. And he seems to, when I met with him, he was pretty defensive, had an excuse or a reason for every question that I presented to him. And leadership like that, and then leadership who won't show up and be accountable to the people. To me, that's not leadership. That's not leadership. That's not love. That's not concern. You couldn't convince me otherwise, even if you paid me. But then for Byrd to state that he wanted, we should consider as the people, privatize investments into making the structure grander. That's exactly what he said. Why don't we consider privatized investments, private entities, to invest into the center and make it grander? And immediately, but maybe it's partly because I do my due diligence and I'm just not lying to myself about what's going on in my city. If we looked at Miller Park, we have already seen, and they stated this, $4 million is what the city actually put up for this project of Miller Park, the renovation. The other money came from privatized investment. I just covered this, I believe, yesterday. Business improvement developments. The Chattanooga Times just covered this Sunday. The problem of having privatized business invest in things and initiatives to get things accomplished in the city is they have control. And if we give these ABC alphabet groups control over what gets to happen in the city, how do we call these people into accountability if we don't vote them in? And the sad part is just looking at, from being sparked from the article by the Chattanooga Times Free Press, and then looking at the information on BIDs all across this nation, these groups often end up targeting poor, impoverished, and homeless individuals, such as like what's happening already at Miller Park. We got private security guarding the park. It's a public space. Why would we need private security guarding a public space? Well, if the city didn't put up all the money to get this accomplished, because they, according to them, they just don't have so much money, even though the city's worth $4 billion. They're giving control to people who are not duly elected. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, dog?
Not much. I wanted to let you know that today at the county commission meeting, they're trying to get the county to put funds into the Avondale Rec Center. And what I fear in that is what I've noticed in the past when the county steps in to fund certain projects like this, that you'll have a monument placed here too. So it almost seems like there's a certain commissioner skimming off the top as well. And so I just wanted to let you know that that's a push right now that to free up county spending into this rec center too.
Thank you, dawg, man. I'm so appreciative of your hard work, man. Keep pushing.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. That's Mr. Christopher Dahl, the man responsible for Chattanooga Has History. And really, if you want to know what's going on a county commissioner level, Dahl is the man. But besides that, they did also talk about that as well. Now, I will say, if Mackey didn't have anything good to say, but addressing Byrd directly, stating that there wouldn't be a need for rumors if you were just real and upfront with your constituents and your people from the jump. None of this, all of this could have easily been avoided. And that's the truth. It could have easily been avoided. Now we got to look at spending additional money if the people aren't happy. trying to remove this and coming up with a secondary option. And to add insult to injury before we close out here, Miss Coonrod, who's already been on thin ice, skating on thin ice, at least with me. Thin ice. Decides after I left, because we were there for a minute, decides to make the statement. She just couldn't let the meeting end. She decides to make the statement that basically we just need to be happy with what we have. We don't have a right to question anything that's going into our recreation center because the center that she goes to is raggedy and they don't even have bleachers. Well, for you to say that basically the people are just bickering or complaining or whining, did you say that to those constituents that showed up and said that they didn't want $2 million worth of lights on the Walnut Street Bridge? No, you didn't. You didn't say that. You didn't tell them that they needed just to accept what the city has done. Because anybody anywhere else that has a bridge would be grateful to have those LED lights. It's ridiculous and superbly offensive when you have elders that went to the mic and expressed their concerns with how the project was going and what was happening within the center. We better wake up, people. 2020 is on our heels, and I will continue to preach that it is time to clean house. We have no friends. Oh, man. It's your girl, Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. Y'all know what it is. If no one is taking the time today to tell you that they love you, I love you. And guess what? It's absolutely nothing that you can do about that. We better wake up and we better get busy because justice is just us. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Marie Mott Show.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A neighborhood on alert in East Brainerd as a man is accused of exposing himself to a child. Happened just after 6 p.m. on Royal Mountain Drive. Hamilton County deputies say a child had a lemonade stand in her front yard. A car drove by several times before the man inside stopped and then exposed himself. The vehicle is described as a green Subaru. UTC's campus will go smoke-free starting January 1st. The ban on tobacco products includes e-cigarettes for vaping. Reports say faculty is concerned of the effects of secondhand vape. Despite these changes to policy,